Hello, 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 everybody. Oh my gosh, how are you? How are you? How are you? I am Kenneth Overton, your host of Black Opera Live, which is brought to you by Black Opera Productions LLC, which is the production company that is producing the incredible upcoming documentary entitled Black Opera, where we will be telling the stories of some legendary Black opera singers as well as some of today's brightest stars. And we are looking forward to bringing that film to you at the close of 2021. God willing, please, Corona, get out of our way so we can do our work. But I am so happy to be here. I have missed you all. I took 2 weeks off because I'm in the middle of a huge filming project where I have to sing quite a bit. It's a project with on-site opera entitled The Road We Came, where I will be your musical guide through the entire borough of Manhattan, stopping at historically relevant places in Black history as they relate to New York City. So we'll be going from all the way in Lower Manhattan, where the African burial grounds are, all the way up through Midtown, where Seneca Village is, and then all the way up, of course, through Harlem. And I will be taking you there musically with a whole bunch of music by incredible Black composers, women composers, living composers, deceased composers, just legendary, amazing Black musical magic. And I've been filming every single day outside in New York. So if you're in New York, you know it's been cold, but I've been trying to produce beautiful tones to get it all on camera because, you know, film is forever. So that's why I have missed you the last 2 weeks, but I'm so glad to be back. And what a way to come back. There's so much to tell you. Okay, first of all, take a look at this. Black Opera Live is now a podcast. I am so excited. So wherever you get your podcasts, entertainment from, wherever you listen to your podcast, you will now find Black Opera Live, especially on Spotify and Apple. Those are the two that I use. And so all of the interviews that we have done that are video interviews are being turned into podcast interviews. I'm so excited. Things are just moving and moving and moving along. And Black Opera has also started its own Spotify page. So please go and like our Spotify page. We are collecting every possible recording that displays Black magic on it. I am so excited. You can go there and find things that you maybe didn't hear of before, or go there and find your favorite recordings that you cherish so much. And if there are recordings that you see that are not there, please email us at blackoperafilm.com and let us know, and we will get it up there. I am so excited. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is my first interview back in 2 weeks, and I'm coming to you as a Grammy winner. How is that even? It's just amazing. It still hasn't sunk in, and I have not been able to really celebrate because I'm trying to keep the chords together until we finish recording. But once that last note on when the director yells cut and that's a wrap, it's on. The celebration is on. I am so excited and blessed to be able to be on a Grammy Award-winning recording for the Naxos recording label in Richard Danielpour's The Passion of Yeshua, where I sing the role of Yeshua, Black Jesus. So what better way to honor the Lord with the gift that he has lent to me with such a beautiful recording, a beautiful project, and to have it be received in honor in this way is a childhood dream come true. And, you know, I love what Oprah says, that when one of your dreams comes true, that's the time to start dreaming another dream and a bigger dream. And so I'm going to keep dreaming and keep working and keep pushing. And today, these gorgeous ladies, these intelligent ladies, these talented and gifted ladies, these fierce, ferocious ladies on this panel are also on a Grammy Award winning recording. And that is the Metropolitan Opera's cast recording of Porgy and Bess. Baby, if you haven't listened to the recording, fix your life and go get it, go buy it. And if you have not seen it, fix your life and this fall come and see the show and experience it for yourself. I have claimed that Corona will have released us and we will be able to be back in the theaters where we can experience the beauty and the majesty of live theater. But get your ticket to go and see the Metropolitan Opera's Porgy and Bess, because you will see all of these ladies and so many, many more. Let me tell you a little bit about them, the accomplishments, and the receipts that I'm gonna have for y'all with their talent and gifts. Just buckle yourselves in, pin down your wig a little bit more, or glue it or whatever, because there's so much talent and beauty coming at y'all. I don't want you, to lose it. But first, Christine Jobson, soprano from Miami, Florida, has performed in Spain, Portugal, Austria, Russia, the Bahamas, Bermuda, and throughout the United States. Operatic roles include the title role in Massenet Cendrillon, Musetta in La Bohème, Acili in Signor Deluso, and Annie and Bess in Porgy and Bess. Miss Jobson made her Russian debut at the Music Hall Theater in St. Petersburg, Russia, in Gershwin's Porgy and Bess Suite. South Florida concert appearances as soloists have been with the Delray Beach Chorale, Art Basel, Curtis Mansion, Handel's Messiah with the Hampton House Community Trust, the City of North Miami's mayoral inauguration, and the opening day game with the Miami Marlins baseball team. Her debut with the South Florida Youth Orchestra of Heart on the Wall by Robert Owens was received with great acclaim. Christine's work in the development of new opera includes workshops of Beyond by Mary Ellen Childs in a collaboration with Frost Opera Theater at the University of Miami, Opera America, and the Duffy Institute for New Opera. Miss Jobson recently completed a doctoral degree in vocal pedagogy. Yes, she is Dr. Jobson. Get it, write it down. Ask somebody if you don't know. Of vocal pedagogy and performance at the Frost School of Music at the University of Miami, with a dissertation on the life and legacy of the incredible, the one and only, the legendary Miss Florence Price. Welcome, 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 Dr. Christine Jobson to the show. Jasmine Muhammad is a versatile vocalist, bridging the gaps between the opera house, the harmonic space of background vocals, and the intimate recitals of art songs and spirituals. After completing 3 successful years as a Pittsburgh Opera resident artist, Ms. Muhammad continues her work as a Manhattan-based freelance musician. For her 2019-2020 season, Ms. Muhammad was featured as an ensemble member in the Metropolitan Opera's Porgy and Bess and Lincoln Center Theater's premiere of Ricky Ian Gordon's new opera, Intimate Apparel, as well as covering the role of Esther. Other engagements include Kanye West's operatic presentations of, I can never remember how to pronounce this name, but she will fix it. She will fix it, because Kanye just won a Grammy last night too. Congratulations to him. She also won the 2019-2020 roster of American Opera Project's Composers and the Voice Fellowship Program. Past seasons include performances as Hattie in the 2017 Pittsburgh Opera world premiere of The Summer King. And during the 2024-2015 season, she appeared as Rodelinda in Handel's Rodelinda in Micaela in Bizet's Carmen. Welcome, Jasmine, to the show, my darling. So great to have you here. Makita Hampton. Newcastle, Delaware native Makita Hampton is recognized for her warm and shimmering soprano voice. Ms. Hampton has studied and performed across the United States and parts of Europe, including, but not limited to, Portugal, Spain, Germany, and Austria. Performances with the American Institute of Musical Studies, the Tyrolean Opera Festival, the Hawaii Performing Arts Festival, the New Jersey State Opera, the Huntsville Youth Orchestra, and Sinfonietta Nova Orchestra were all instrumental in launching her early professional career. In the 2019-2020 season, Miss Hampton made her Metropolitan Opera chorus debut in Porgy and Bess, and solo debuts with Baltimore Concert Opera, Opera Delaware, and the Long Island Concert Orchestra. Miss Hampton has won several vocal competitions and music awards, including first place in the 2020 MI Vocal Competition, the American Prize, the Montpellier Art Center Classical Recital Competition, and the Austrian American Society Music Competition. In 2016, she won the sought after first place award in the University of Kentucky's 11th annual All Tech Voice Competition. Welcome, Makita, soon to be Dr. Hampton. Get it together. Rebecca L. Hargrove is an actress. Get into it. A singer. Get into it. And model, baby. Catwalking, magazine, picture taking. Get into it. Last season, she starred in the NYGSAP touring production of The Mikado as Yum Yum. That is the New York Gilbert and Sullivan Players, for those of you who are not aware, and was featured in the companies of Porgy and Bess at the Metropolitan Opera and Evita at New York City Center. I love New York City Center. She recently starred as Aquanetta in the New York Times Critics' Pick opera at Bard Summerscape and made her Carnegie Hall debut in Two Wings, the music of Black America, in Migration with Jason Moran and his fabulous, gorgeous wife, Alicia Hall Moran. Previous engagements include the Grey Land world premiere mono opera as the Mother, Roulette Intermedium album, now available on all streaming platforms, In the Parlor as Nellie Quandare at the National Black Theater, and Cabin in the Sky at City Center Encores. Welcome, Rebecca, to the show. And last but certainly not least, Ghanaian American mezzo-soprano Tisia Kavarteng hails from San Antonio, Texas. She attended the Manhattan School of Music for her master's degree and the University of Texas at Arlington, where she double majored in voice performance and journalism. Come on, brains and beauty and voice. She recently made her Austin opera debut, featured in Recital as part of their Live from Indie Terrace broadcast. This coming fall, Tisia will make her Broadway debut in Ricky Ian Gordon and Lynn Nottage's new opera, Intimate Apparel, at Lincoln Center Theater, understudying the role of Mamie and performing in the ensemble. She was also a finalist in the 2020 George London Foundation competition, where she received an Encouragement Award. Additional awards include being selected as a 2019 Top 30 and Under 30 Pioneer by the Future of Ghana publication, as well as an Encouragement Award winner at the Houston District Metropolitan Opera National Council auditions in 2018. She was a featured soloist in the ensemble of Porgy and Bess at the Metropolitan Opera and has participated in the Young Artist programs of the Opera Theater of St. Louis, the Tri-Cities Opera, the Glimmerglass Festival, Chautauqua Opera, and the Virginia Opera. For more information, you can check out her on her website or her many social media platforms. Welcome, Tisia, and welcome to all these fantastic, gorgeous, talented ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you my gorgeous panel. Jasmine Muhammad, Tisia Kavarteng, Makita Hampton, Christine Jobson, and Rebecca L. Hargrove. Hello, ladies! Oh my gosh, it's so great to have you here. Okay, so the chat is already blowing up, so I've got to catch up and put some of these comments up here. Thank you, my beautiful sister, Pretty Indy. I love you. Thank you so much. I love you, love you, love you. Thank you so much. Hey, Miss Callie Day, good to see you, my dear. I love you too. I love you too. Patrick McCoy. I have to tell everybody, Patrick McCoy is the bomb. He is the bomb. He is one of the most exciting, on the cutting edge journalists in all of classical music, and he looks just like us. Patrick, we need you, and we need your voice out there covering us, and the way that you consistently support us does not go unnoticed. We are grateful and thankful for you. And so keep pushing, my brother. I really, 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 really appreciate you. Really, really do. Thank you so much, Callie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody, everybody, everybody. Yes. Hey, Olana, it's good to see you. How are you, my dear? Hello, Lucia, my darling. How are you? Markel, what's up, brother? Hello, hello, hello. All right. So I'm going to get to the ladies. Let's start with you, Jasmine. Jasmine, will you tell us where you're from and first, how did classical music and this whole opera thing come into your life, into your orbit?
This whole opera thing, because that's what it is.
Yes.
Can we talk about this intro though? We're all just sitting here like, if everybody could have their life story be read by Kenneth Overton, we would be better for it. Okay. I'm from Reston, Virginia. Right outside of DC. I went to high school in DC at the Duke Ellington School of the Arts.
Oh, yay!
Many of us all know. And that sort of just started the path. And we studied classically there. That was my intro into 24 Italian arias. And when it came time for college and that whole process, it never occurred to me to do anything other than sing. So we only applied to conservatories and schools with the music program. Mm-hmm. And then you're just on the train. I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm sure my girls agree that I feel like opera chooses you. You don't really get to choose it all the time. And we're on the train. We got on the train. We never got off. So undergrad, grad school at MSM, went straight to Pittsburgh for their Young Artist program. And that's where I am now. We're about to start rehearsal soon for another production. And we continue.
Now, are you from a singing family or a musical family?
No, not really. I'm from a family that appreciates the arts, but not really participates. So we chalk it up to the divine
intervention. Yes, it's the same with me. Nobody in my family sings at all. It's like, yeah, God, yeah. He either has some serious jokes or a huge plan that we don't know nothing about. Thank you so much. Ticia, my dear, tell us, my darling, where you're from and how did all this classical music stuff come into your life?
Sure. So from Texas, I was actually born in Virginia. And I actually once told Jasmine, like, if I had stayed in Virginia my whole life, if our paths probably would have ended up crossing anyway, because I was in Northern Virginia and like maybe I would have ended up at Duke and we still would have ended up at MSM and like all that kind of stuff. But so I actually started training classically as a kid. My dad, who should be watching, my family should be watching. I went to the bank with him one day, and my first voice teacher just so happened to be at the bank that day, I guess cashing her checks, from her students. And my dad was like, my daughter sings. And so somehow they set that up. And so I started training classically when I was about 9. Caro mio ben, like the whole thing, Nisma, like all the things, and had my first recital at Carnegie Hall in Wild Recital Hall. Had no idea the magnitude of that, but just knew that I just love to sing. I didn't know that opera was going to be the thing, and yeah. Of course I still sing other things and love to sing all the things. But yeah, I just got to the point where like people keep asking me to show up and sing opera. So I'm going to continue.
You go where the money resides.
You go where the money reside. But my dad also does play the piano. He played the organ in our church growing up, and my sister was in band. My mom sang. Of course, in Ghana, choir is a big thing, so they grew up singing in choirs and all that kind of thing. Nobody pursued music in my family, but again, there's appreciation and all that good stuff. So
amazing. It is one of my dreams to go to Ghana because it is
come through. Yeah.
It's the second largest percentage of my DNA.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. You have a National Symphony Orchestra there as well. So I've been trying to get back over there and sing with them and all that good stuff. So yeah, come on, let's go.
That's fantastic. Welcome, gorgeous.
Thank you.
Makita Hampton. How are you, my darling?
Hi, I'm so excited to be here and to see my beautiful sisters and castmates.
It's so fantastic to have you here. So will you tell us, my dear, how did all of this music and classical music come into your life? And I know you from Delaware, which is a quick little neighborhood from where I grew up in Philadelphia. So we love some Delaware.
Yes, and we love Philly. My family's from Philly, so
Yes, indeed.
You know what? I hated singing when I was a kid. I used to get in trouble and I used to pout when me and my sister had to sing at church. So how I got here is a miracle. And my mom is watching. She can attest to it. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. But, my grandparents on my dad's side were very musical. Actually, my entire family are musically inclined. My grandmother played the organ at church. My grandfather played the violin. And my sister and I started singing when we were kids in church.
Okay.
I did not think it would lead to this. Absolutely not. I also come from a scientific family. My dad is a chemist. My sister is a chemical engineer. So
Wow.
I actually started off in college in chemistry and math, and I was a music minor. And so it was Dr. Angelique Clay, who was my voice teacher at the time. She said, hey, you're only taking 30 minutes of lessons. If you want an hour, then, maybe you can double major. She kind of lured me into it, but I eventually double majored and kind of left the STEM stuff aside. But, I went to Pine Forge Academy. I sang in the choir underneath Jason Max Ferdinand and Aeolians under Dr. Lloyd Mallory. So that kind of inspired my my musical journey. I had no idea that this would be the journey.
Wow. Well, we are glad you took the journey and listened to the Lord and let him direct your path. Huh?
Yes.
We love to see it and we love to hear it. Thank you for being here. I so appreciate you.
Thanks, Kenny.
Dr. Jobson,
Hi.
come on in the room, my dear. Tell the folks where you're from and how did all this fabulous music come into your life?
So I'm from Miami and my entire family is from Jamaica. So they moved here a few years before I was born. So yes, boop, boop, boop. Those are my people. And I actually did come from a very musical family. My dad sang tenor in the choir. My mom was my first piano teacher. She did a minor in music in school. My sister and brother, we all attended a little school called Miami Union Academy. And we all basically were expected to be in the band and in the choir. So my brother played trumpet, piano, sang in the choir. My sister played saxophone, piano, and sang in the choir. I played clarinet, piano, and sang in the choir. So it was just a way of life. We all sang at church. It was just a part of what you did in our household. So that was kind of like life for us, but I didn't really understand that music was something that you could make money doing until I got a little bit older and found out there was a whole degree for music. And basically I have to tell this story, which is that at Oakwood, we have this thing called Oakwood College Days where you can come up, visit the campus and get to know some of the degree programs. So I stopped by the music department. I was curious. I knew I loved music. And lo and behold, a lovely young lady named Brandy Sutton was singing for Oakwood College Days. And I was like, whatever she's doing, I want to do that. And so that's where I kind of got the bug for singing classically. I heard her and heard other people along the way, but that was a pivotal moment. And I too studied with Dr. Angelique Clay, who also kind of sat me down and was like, look, you have something you need to be serious about this and pursue this. So, and I did. And the rest is kind of history. I did all the degrees, and have made this my life's work. And here we are all these years later.
That's fantastic. Congratulations. Congratulations. And I think you are correct with this. I believe you are absolutely correct, especially at the Grammys last night. The ladies swept and were snatching all the awards from everybody. The ladies were doing it. Rebecca, How are you, my dear?
I'm good, Kenny.
It's so good to see your
Yeah.
face.
Yes, same here. You had me dying over here, just zipping through our bios. I mean, yes.
Listen, who wants to sit there and go, and she did this and this and this, And then when you go to a show and the lights go down, you can't read. You got to wait till you get home. So I'll give it to you with a little seasoning on it.
Yeah. I'm here for the seasoning.
Seasoning. So will you tell us, my dear, how did you come into all of this music madness?
This music madness.
Where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in Columbia, Maryland, so the other side of the DMV from where Jasmine and TC are from. My grandparents, so I grew up in my grandparents' house, and they, for some reason or another, felt that there needed to be a baby grand piano in our house. And so it just sat there. No one played it except for my aunt when she was younger, maybe into high school. And then for like 20 years until I was born, it just sat there collecting dust. And so I came around and was like, well, I'm gonna bang on these keys. These keys make sound. And so one day my grandmother went to my mom, was like, you have to put the girl in lessons because I can't listen to that. And so I started piano lessons when I was 8. And I always sang in choir because you had to in school.
Yeah.
But one of my choir teachers in the 5th grade was like, I think you should do all county. And I was like, okay. And then I realized like I was the one from my school with the one from all the other schools. And then I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe this is like, maybe I can actually sing. And so I asked my mom to put me in voice lessons. And oddly enough, one day I was watching, shout out if you remember this show, VH1's Behind the Music.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm watching Tupac's Behind the Music one day, and they do a segment on how he went to Baltimore School for the Arts. And I turned to my mom at the commercial break and I was like, I want to go there. And she was like, for real? And I was like, yeah. And it had to be like 3:30 in the afternoon. I'd just gotten home from school. So we hop in the car, we drive 30 minutes to Baltimore, and the school doors are like closing. The school is closing. And we run into the main office and I'm like, I just saw you on VH1 and I want to go here. How can I go here? And the woman in the front office was like, it's your lucky day. This is actually the last day we're accepting applications for the next school year. If you can like scribble down an application real quick, I'll make sure it gets submitted. And I was like, okay. So I auditioned for voice and theater, and I got in for voice. And my vocal father, Robert Cantrell, is here watching live. I was accepted and I started studying voice at BSA. And I just remember in my first lesson, he pulled out the 24 Italian arias.
Come on now.
Okay. And he was like, girl, Ocesate di Piagarmi. I'm going to warm you up this way up the piano. And like Jasmine said, it really chose me. Like at no point in my life before this moment did I ever wake up and say, I want to be an opera singer.
Mm-hmm.
Never. Like I made fun of opera because I'd listened to it because I played piano. I would make fun of it. So I never thought I would actually do it. So yeah, I fought it for a while until I was introduced to Kathy and Leontine and Jessie and seeing other women that look like me doing it. I was like, oh, wow, I can really do this.
Yeah.
Well, I got on the opera train too and ended up going to Oberlin Conservatory and then doing my master's at the New School, which brought me to New York, thank God, where I met all of you fabulous people. And we've just become this amazing community of Black singers in this industry. So it's been a ride.
It's wonderful to see. It's truly wonderful to see. So Jasmine, darling, growing up, who were some of the people that you looked up to musically? Any genre? Who sparked that musical excitement? What voices was like, oh, yes.
Well, I mean, as a kid, it's like, who are we listening to? Lauryn Hill and India Reid. And I mean, anybody that was Jill Scott, neo soul was my bag. Like and people always, it's so hard explaining to people that we're not recording artists.
Right.
So you'll meet someone and say, oh, I'm a singer. And they're like, well, where can I hear you? Where can I see? Where can I find you? Nowhere, but
Well,
thank you.
buy a
Catch me
ticket and come to
live.
the theater.
Yeah, so their music was just if I was ever going to enter that world, that was what filled my soul. So that's why I sing everything, because I just really always want to sing the music that I love, and that doesn't always only pertain to opera.
Right.
And if it's a vibe, if it's the text and the chordal language that moves me, that moves
Yeah.
you, then that's where we are. That's where we're going.
That's where we are. I love it. What about you, Ticia? Did you listen to growing up? Who inspired you? What
Oh my
singer?
gosh, so much good music in the world. Like, but Whitney Houston, obviously, like
My favorite voice that God ever
I
created.
mean, just, like, and also Michael Jackson. Like, I will never forget the first time I saw the Thriller music video. Like, I was in Walmart as a kid and just saw, and I was like, what is happening? I am in another world. Like, I don't know what's happening. So those two artists definitely shaped and, I don't know, definitely filled my cup.
Yeah.
I also grew up listening to a lot of gospel, and also my dad was in college in the 70s. So like Earth, Wind and Fire and just like that,
Elements.
But my mom also listened to classical music too. So it was just like this beautiful amalgamation of cultural sounds from every corner of the world, which informed me as an artist. And I think that's what is so great about being in classical music, is having all this richness of culture within us that we can then bring to it. And that's been a journey in itself. And I feel like a lot of, along the way, we're kind of stripped of that. But that's what makes us us. So, yeah. Anyway, I kind of veered off, but yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's amazing. I always stress to people, especially when I get the privilege to talk to young people who are wanting to become artists, is that there's no one way. There's no one track. And for God's sake, don't compare yourself to anybody else's track. It's just not going to look the same. Yeah. Go where your heart says go, do what your talent can do, and get your own life right,
Mm-hmm.
Makita, tell me, darling, who inspired you? What singers growing up did you listen to?
Actually, we listened to a lot of, we as in my immediate family, my mom, my dad, my sister, we listened to a lot of church music. So hymns, instrumental arrangements of hymns and gospel music. So a lot of my early musical influences were not necessarily singers, but just sounds. Mm-hmm. And then I was able to maybe, some jazz standards and ballads and things like that. So as I got to high school, I started recognizing some of those standards. And actually, when I got to Oakwood, no. In high school, Eric Brown, Eric.
Yes.
Eric Brown gave me a CD, and it said Vumbumbia on it. And it was a compilation of CDs, of artists, Joan Sutherland, Beverly Seals, Leontine Price, Kathleen Battle, Marilyn Horne. I had no idea who anybody was, not then. But I just played that CD over and over and over. And then that was the time when those Millennium compilations were coming out with like Stevie Wonder and Mint Condition, like, the Millennium series and And so in high school, that became kind of like a popular thing for those of us who were in the artsy side of school. So we used to listen to all of Stevie's songs and all of Ella Fitzgerald and Art Tatum. So it was just all of these artists that we were like, oh, who are these people? Long come all before us, right? But then it was like, how how did, just like Ticia said, it's just like this culture that's becoming embedded in you. And then it was at Oakwood that then the soundscape of opera began to make sense, and like choir and voice lessons and, you know, everything. I didn't really have anybody specific growing up, but it was really just the sounds that became kind of part of the fabric of your being.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. I love that. What about you, Doctor?
For me, well, I grew up in a church music only household. Amen.
Gotcha.
So
Amen.
basically, it was Sandy Patty, Larnell Harris, and
Listen, hold up. Larnell and Whitney Phipps, they were the only gospel singers whose songs that I could sing. Because it's in my listen. Praise God for them, because everybody that sings gospel ain't no tenor. I wish they would get that together. Stop being disrespectful to the low voices. We love the Lord too. We love the Lord too.
We love the Lord.
Go ahead.
No, but yeah, those are like my top three. We had these videos with them featured, and we would watch those every Saturday after church. So that was kind of like my vision, my dream about what good music was made up of those three people. Yes, We Shall Behold Him, Patrick McCoy. Yes, all of that. So, and then I also grew up hearing Take Six, Fred Hammond, Commission. Like, we loved that in our household. And then when I got to Oakwood, that's kind of when I was really introduced to classical music. And Lloyd Mallory actually bought me my first CDs. We were on a choir trip, and he was like, you need to listen to these. And he bought me Renee Fleming, Kathleen Battle, I want to say Jesse Norman, some of the standard people, Leontine Price. And that's where I really started to listen and fell in love with those voices as well.
Fantastic. What about you, Rebecca? Who was in your ears?
Who was in my ears? Any and everyone my mom would listen to. But also, I mean, the radio played a huge part in the fabric of what I listened to. I mean, WHUR, Howard University Radio. Okay. My mom's favorite singer was Phyllis Hyman.
Oh,
just like Meet Me on the Moon. How about it? Love Phyllis Hyman. Obviously love Nippy. There's so many times I remember like watching The Bodyguard as a kid and like trying to recreate the wind blowing.
You did that too?
Yes. And I mean, Tony Braxton.
Listen, Tony Braxton's first album, I can listen to it from beginning to end without wanting to skip a song.
Period. Throw the Boomerang soundtrack in there too.
Boom.
So also, I guess I can't go without saying, I think I was destined to be a soprano because of my love for Mariah Carey.
Okay.
And just always went up for whenever she sang in that whistle register.
Yes.
And so just like Ticia can remember seeing Thriller, I remember the exact area in my house I was when Yo MTV Raps came on and the Fantasy video premiered for the first time, and she was on the roller coaster in that white crop top and just like throwing her hands up and singing these high notes, and I probably screamed my head off trying to sing them too.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you know, all of those like just standard put your feet down and sing a ballad type singers, they really are in the ear of my childhood.
Now, Adam Richardson, I need you to log off. I want you to log off. Like, go to bed without
immediately. Not this, Adam.
Adam, log off.
You're canceled. You will not talk about living legend Tony Braxton.
I can't stand him.
I'm gonna let her sing Mariah though. Let's do a Porgy where Tony is Mariah.
Ooh, come on now. Speaking of which, do you all still have your beverages handy? I forgot.
I don't. I have this. I just have water.
I finished water.
You can lift your water.
Listen,
we're going to salute and congratulate the Porgy and Bess cast at the Metropolitan Opera on their Best Opera
Yay.
Recording Grammy win. Congratulations, y'all. Oh
And
my
you,
God.
Kenny.
And to you as well.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you too.
Mhm.
And folks, this is not wine, just so you know, so don't try me. Amazing. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about this piece, this show. Okay. So I will assume that you all have been in Porgy and Bess before at some point in your lives. Yes, no.
Once.
One. Jasmine says no. Four. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so we hear that it's coming back after 30 years of being absent at the Metropolitan Opera. And they, of course, need to find a chorus. And they wanted a big, fabulous, gorgeous, juicy chorus. And you all went and auditioned and got in. What was it like, Jasmine, when you get the phone call or the email that says, we want you to join the show? Where were you when you found out? You know, all of that. Tell us about the experience.
What a funny story. First of all, well, it's funny because I was the office manager at IMG for about 2 years. So that was when I moved back to the city in 2015. And I remember one of the agents coming in one day and saying, in 4 years, they're doing Porgy at the Met. And so I've known this was coming. Everybody knew, anybody who is in the, in the mix knew it was coming. And then when the auditions were posted, I, in my solo singer mind, was very averse to the idea of joining the chorus, because we're just not raised to do that. When you're on a solo path, chorus is just a no-no. And that's conditioning. I've learned my lesson. But so I sort of let the dates pass. I saw all my friends were applying. It was in all of our group texts. Okay, guys, the application's coming up. The deadline's coming up. Get in your application. And I'm like, why are you guys applying to this? You're not choristers. Okay, so that's to the side. So months go by. All of my friends are announcing that they're going to be in the chorus. And I'm sitting at home just like, oh my God, no, I can't not do this, especially living in New York. If all my friends are going down to the Met for work every day and I'm just sitting in my apartment alone, that wasn't acceptable. So fortunately, my dear Rebecca happened to come across the fact that they were still looking for some low voices. I'm a soprano. In any church situation, you might often see me singing alto, because we just don't need to be up there all the time. I truly don't subscribe to that. Roll your eyes, Rebecca, it's fine. So I emailed and I got an audition. I sang for Maestro Palumbo on a Monday at 2:00, and by 5 p.m. he emailed me and said, okay, just come on down, let's do this. And I said, great.
Wow.
It was very, very simple. So
Wow.
I almost missed the boat, but not so fast.
But God, okay?
But
But
God,
God.
today.
But God, and Serena saying you better hurry up before you don't miss that boat. Huh? Ticia, what was your journey to getting into this fantastic production?
So Glimmer Glass was my first Porgy. And they obviously had reached out to, or the Met had reached out to Glimmer Glass, or however it worked, I don't know. But they then contacted us like, these are the dates that you all can audition for. And I signed up for a time, and of course saw, my colleagues say, yes, Miss Muhammad,
Yes,
gather your daughter.
Gathered.
And so, went down and sang my little notes, and then got the call. And I was still at Tri-Cities. I was still in the program. And I remember getting the email and being like, what? Like, it was just kind of like, Mom, like, just immediately called my family, and that's how that happened.
Amazing. What about you, Makita?
Okay, so I first heard about the auditions late. It was after the deadline. You know, Charles Carter, he be coming through. Charles
Listen.
Carter is a lifesaver
Charles-
in so many situations.
He should be an agent, like for real. Like Charles be
Yes.
getting the folks work.
Charles, and he was just like, well, you know, it's late, but email so and so. And I was like, okay, let me get this email through. And so I was able to submit. And February of 2020, I got an email. Dan Hoy.
2019.
19.
Thank you.
2020 doesn't exist.
2019.
Right.
Right. Cancel 2020. I was actually in class. I was in Kentucky and I saw a phone call come through. I was like, New York. Just like, let me ignore this. I was in early opera literature talking about Monteverdi. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna check this email when I get back. And I was like, not email, the voicemail. And I was like, I forgot to check a voicemail. I was on my way to Trader Joe's. And I was like, okay, let me put it on the Bluetooth. I said, hi, Makita, this is Dan Hoy. We want to offer. I was just like, I was speeding through the light. I was like, no red lights, no red lights. I had to pull into the parking lot. I was just like, this is not happening. I missed the call, but I got the email, and that's that's how I found out driving to Trader Joe's.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Trader Joe's. What about you, Doctor?
Well, I had been hearing about the auditions coming around, and so I kind of knew that it was coming up, but Carl DuPont is the one who forwarded me, I think, that Glimmerglass email. And I was like, okay, there's the tea. I need to make sure I get my things together. And so I did. I sent it off, and I just didn't know. I was like, I don't really know how I stack up. You know, it's the Met. I just don't know. So I was shocked. I was actually at Dr. Astrup's house. I was with her. She's a professor at Western Connecticut State University, where I'm currently teaching. And I was at her house because she was hosting me to do some recitals, master classes, that kind of thing. So we were downstairs eating some takeout, and I left my cell phone upstairs. I normally have my cell phone attached to my hip, but this time I just left it upstairs. Maybe I was trying to be a good, guest and not be on my phone while we're eating. So I went upstairs and I saw a missed call from this random unsaved number. And I was like, I don't know about that. But I checked the voicemail, and I too heard the voice of Dan Hoy. And I started screaming in this lady's house. I was tearing up the place, screaming and carrying on. And she's like, are you okay? She thought I hurt myself or something. But I was like, no, I'm going to be in the chorus at the Met. And she was really happy for me. But yeah, poor Dr. Astrup. We love it. That's how I found out, and here we are.
I love it. What about you, Rebecca?
Yeah, to echo everyone's same thing. Like, I had been hearing about it since 2014, 15, maybe. My first Porgy was with you, Kenny. At
It was?
Festival. Yes, that was my first Porgy ever. And then 2 weeks after that, we went to Mexico and did another Porgy together. And then after that one, I did the Spoleto Festival one. So it was at Spoleto Festival that we found out that some people from the Met were in the audience to see our production. So that's when we really, like, like they're going around seeing everybody that's doing it, seeing, who's out there, what the looks are, what production they might want to bring. And I think then, they knew it was going to be people were calling it the 2020 season. So I don't think we knew it was 2019, 2020 season. But I said after that show, I was like, and if I do another one, that'll be it. And I said it like very blasé, and any other opportunity to sing Porgy I kind of avoided, because when I say things and I try to manifest things, like I try to honor my word. So when the auditions were posted, I think late summer of 2019, I submitted, forgot about it. And then I see all of my friends, kind of like Jasmine was saying, I see all of my friends like, I got a live audition. I'll be auditioning on this day, posting just leaving the Met after my audition. And I was like, oh, wow, darn, that sucks. Maybe I jinxed myself. whatever, happy for my friends. And so then I had that thought, and it must have been in that same week, I got an email from Dan saying that Maestro wanted to hear me sing. And now it's February of 19. So, they must have been posted in 2018, the auditions. So now it's February of 19, and I had an audition like that first week of February. I go sing, and I remember walking past Leontine's portrait in the basement, and I just like had a moment with her, and I was like, well, Mother, at least we can say I sang in the Met. like whether I get in or not, like, we were here, we sang in the Met. So, it is what it is. And I just bowed in honor to her and walked out and went to happy hour.
Right.
And you gotta do that.
Yes.
So if that was February 2nd, maybe like February 4th or 5th, I was on the D train headed to Brooklyn to go see the Nets. And a voicemail alert just came through like once I got service. And I saw it was a 212 number. And I'm like,
I'm on 212.
Hey, 212. I'm like, I never pick up numbers I don't know, but if they leave a voicemail, I go listen. And so I click the voicemail like in between stops. And it's like, hi, it's Dan Hoy from the Metropolitan Opera. And as he continued, like it felt like everything went in slow motion. And then once he said, like, Maestro Palumbo wants to offer you a contract, and the train took off, like just tears, just like that crazy lady on the train crying. And my fiance was like, what happened? What's wrong? And I was just like, I got in. Like, I'm going to sing at the Met. And we were like screaming on the train, and people were looking at us like we were crazy. So yeah, it was one of those New York moments, as I call them.
Yeah, that is so amazing. I'm so happy for all of you. Like, and I'm telling you, you have to see this show to hear this ensemble, because is it 60 people in the chorus about, or
65?
Something like that.
Listen, when you hear 65 Black soloists sing that music, outrageously gorgeous and stunning and everything. You should all be extremely proud of what you accomplished there. So I want to go, before I ask my next Porgy experience question, I have this thing on my show that I call showing the receipts. So I like to dig in my bag and share with the audience not just your biographical information and all of the stuff that you have in your press packet, but actual evidence of your brilliance and your gifts and your talent. So Makita, we're going to start with you, my darling.
Okay.
We're going to start with you. And will you set up your piece? Tell us what it is, and we'll let the audience enjoy.
Okay. Well, this particular performance is actually now very special to me because it was my last public solo performance before the pandemic. And it was in between, it was like a 36-hour window between shows in January of 2020. So this is I Will Extol Thee from the oratorio Eli by Michael Costa. And it was for a competition, and this is a recording from the competition, but this was my last solo performance before the pandemic began. And so, yeah.
All right, everybody, hold on to your wigs and whatever else you got, and we'll listen to the fantastic soprano Makita Hampton.
I will extol thee,
Well, go on and sing, ma'am.
Thank
Go
you.
on and sing for the folks. And shimmering and silver and trilling and all, just gorgeous. My
Thank
goodness.
you.
See, folks, listen. Don't let anybody put labels on you or try to stigmatize you or whatever. Listen, this voice sang in the Metropolitan Opera's production of Porgy and Bess in the ensemble, but she just sang right there is as a soloist on the stage at Carnegie Hall. That's the type of level of a performance that was. Just so you know, want to make it clear. Bravissima, my darling. Bravissima. Thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you. And folks, if you want to find out more about Makita, just take a look at the ticker tape, and there is her website, and you can go and also follow her on Instagram and congratulate her and follow all of her accomplishments and upcoming performances and all of the rest of it. All right, everybody. So let's move now on to Christine. Dr. Christine, will you please tell us about the receipt that I'm about to display for the folks?
This is a recording from when I was a student. Maybe 3 years ago or so. I was performing in Frost Opera Theater at the University of Miami's production of Cendrillon, and I sang Cendrillon. So here is one of the arias from the show.
Fantastic, folks. Enjoy. Well, sing for the folks, ma'am. Come on through.
Thank you.
And the French was just gorgeous. My.
Thank
Come
you.
on now. Dr. Jobson giving us tones for the opera stage, baby. Don't let the doctor fool you. Don't let it fool you. Because, I did catch that you snuck in there that you were teaching as well, doing all the things, and we love to see it. And I forgot to put up some of these comments from Makita's performance, and now I'm going to put some up of yours. My goodness, y'all were just doing the thing. I love, 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 love. And thank you all for supporting these ladies. Because that's what it's all about. We all need support because none of us can do this alone. We need your support. And I'm so glad that you all are here and showing the love to all of these fantastic, fantastic women. Fantastic women. My goodness. Yes, indeed. Y'all are singing. Y'all got the room lit up tonight. Y'all are doing it. I love it. So, Ticia, my dear, you are next. Will you let us know about what we're going to hear from you, my darling?
Sure. And I also just realized that I'm the only mezzo out here in these streets in this room tonight, holding it down. Okay.
Hold it down.
So you are going to hear a portion of the letter aria from Werther from the George London finals, the competition in the year that shall not be named. But she's a long aria, so it's not the full thing. And it was on a day, it was smack dab in the middle of like a 12-hour rehearsal day for Intimate Apparel. But we thank God for sustaining us through. Okay.
Sustaining us through.
So yeah, that's what you're gonna hear.
I love it. Enjoy, everybody. Ma'am, you're giving us golden velvet chocolatey tones with that sun-kissed skin wrapped in gowns, and more gowns.
Kenny.
Listen, I don't know what to do.
Bless you. Thank you.
Please explain yourself, ma'am.
Vocal technique. I don't know. The corset dress helps. Support. God.
All of that, and then some. My goodness. Okay, so the room is lighting up again. Lighting up. Yes. Okay, Brian. Line. She was giving us lines and lines and more lines. I'm like,
Appreciate y'all.
Girl. Listen. Exactly.
Oh, thank you. Listen, if somebody's doing a vertere,
come on now.
Put your girl's name in the ring, okay?
Okay.
We need a Charlotte.
Come on. I see you, Kali. Tell her. Ticia does give all the colors to see because her skin can handle all that color. Everybody can't do that. Some people, that color, it would just bounce off of them and just look, the dress would wear them, but she was wearing that dress. It was as if it was poured onto her. But I was getting into the nuance of that French and of that character. I was like, ma'am, okay. Somebody needs to mount of Charlotte for you. Hey, brother Kevin Short in the house.
Yay. Thank y'all.
One of the
legends are here. The legend ball. Okay.
In the house. He's one of the best to ever do it. Ever. Catch it. But listen, that was gorgeous.
Thank you.
That was absolutely gorgeous. And it's so great. It's so great to hear all of you sing what you love to sing, what you want to sing, and stuff that people don't necessarily make you sing. Because then it sings. You know what I mean?
A whole word.
Yeah, I love it. Rebecca, you are next, my dear.
How lovely.
Yes, Whitney, the pink and the melanin. Yes, that's a winning combination.
Mm-hmm.
That's pink and melanin.
Can I just say, I was there when Ticia sang that. And Ticia, didn't you didn't somebody have to Titanic style send you into that?
Listen, God bless Anne, because she literally came with me up the elevator. Like, she was still lacing me in right before I went on stage, tucked the strings of the corset into the gown, and out I went. So God bless her, because
see, everybody, this is the stuff that you all don't know. You just see this beautiful black Barbie doll on stage and think, this is what she was back there,
like, okay.
And then how you laced up in a corset and then sing like that. I would be like, Intimate
Apparel trained us for that. Hours and hours and hours. We were waist training. I'm ready to get back into that corset.
Listen.
That's the waist again. But.
Go to the Beyonce boot camp, because I don't know how she bounces around in 6-inch heels and does in the corsets. Listen, God bless women.
It's anointing.
God bless you. God bless you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute, y'all. Okay, another legend. Who
in the house?
Oh.
The one and only. The one and only.
Bless.
My God. Y'all pulling out the legends. And she's in the Netherlands watching.
What time is it over there?
Listen, Roberta Al, that's my girl. I love her so much. She is the life of the party. A living legend. Rebecca, so tell us, darling, what are we about to hear?
So a few years ago, before the whole pandemic, when people could have galas and put on gowns, beautiful gowns, I was privileged enough to sing for the Young Arts Organization's Backyard Gala, directed by the Bill T. Jones, who is another living legend. And in this clip, I'm singing the Rachmaninoff songs Dies Harasho. And fun fact, Bill didn't know he was getting a classical singer. So in our first rehearsal, as a challenge, he made me translate the entire Russian poem to him. And I did it word for word because that's how we were brought up. And he was gagged and he was like, and this stays in the show. See the performance that almost didn't happen here.
Wow, that is amazing. And
Yeah.
Russian music is some of my favorite music ever. And when you sent this, I was like, oh, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy. Wow, 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 wow. See, I knew I was in for a good night in that first phrase. Da-dee-da, and you snatched that girl back and spun her. Yes. I said, oh, we good. We good. We good. Gorgeous.
Thank
Gorgeous,
you.
gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Y'all are just blowing my mind. Okay, listen. Yup.
Oh,
You are
Dr.
so right.
Jackson.
You are so right.
Proud of my black throat.
Listen.
Yes, Taryn. I saw. Wait, who else? Okay, so Kevin. Hi, Amy. Oh, yes, my OB sister.
Pretty, you are up.
I love you, pretty.
See,
Oh,
and when,
shoe basket. Thank you, Roberta. Thank you, Jess.
listen, when Roberta Alexander says spin, honey, you know you done spun. You know you done spun. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely, positively gorgeous.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hey, Colleen. What's
Hey,
going
Colleen.
on, sis? I love you. Now, what are all of y'all doing in the room, Makita?
Thanks. I love it, Mickey.
I love it. Jasmine, my dear, I saved this for last because this song, this performance made me so happy. And I want you to set it up for the folks and tell us all about it.
I'm glad it made you happy. That's its intention. I chose this song because it brings me joy. I love singing it. I saw Audra, the one, the only, Audra McDonald, sing this live on my birthday some years ago at Wolf Trap. And it was her, I think it was her, was it her encore? I don't know, but I made it my encore. And I'd never heard the song before, but it's really touched me. And it's just such a beautiful sentiment. And the song is Make Someone Happy from the musical Do Re Mi. And I, again, I will love to sing anything other than, that's not, let me not say it like that. I don't love to sing anything but opera. But in addition to, I'm
Right.
always just happy to program other music into my recitals. And this was a few years ago. I put on a recital, Opera America. And this was how I capped off the evening.
Fantastic. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen.
The sound of applause is delicious. It's a thrill to have the world at your feet. The praise of the crowd, it's exciting. But I've learned that is not what makes a life complete. There's one thing you can do for the rest of your days that's worth more than applause. The screaming crowds, the bouquets. Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. Make just one heart the heart you sing to. One smile that cheers you. One face that lights when it nears you. Someone you're everything to. Fame, if you win it, comes and goes in a minute. Where's the real stuff in life to cling to? Love is the answer. Someone to love is the answer. Once you found them, build your world around them. Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. Make just one heart the heart you sing to. One smile that cheers you. One face that lights when it nears you. Someone you're everything to. Fame, if you win it, comes and goes in a minute. Where's the real stuff in life to cling to? Love is the answer. Someone to love is the answer. Once you found them, build your world around them. Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. And you will be happy
I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy.
Success.
Oh my, that makes me so happy. My
Isn't it
God.
just a nice song?
I was
You can't
singing
help but
so hard.
smile, right? You can't help but smile hearing
Hey,
that.
come on, Nick.
Happy.
I love
Audra
it.
would be proud.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
she
thank
would.
you.
Yes, she would. Oh my gosh. So beautiful.
Thanks,
So beautiful.
guys.
And I think, I think every opera singer should venture and do some musical theater. It's a good exercise to stretch your communicative skills.
Right.
Because in musical theater, you can't hide, baby. You can't hide.
People act like it's like the dark side, but it's like it's just
No.
a style. Like, let's get into this acting. Let's
And it's where the money resides.
Whoo!
Kaboom.
Broadway weekly checks.
Baby, listen,
health insurance, okay?
I've had the honor and pleasure of being on Broadway for a few months, and when I tell you, when those weekly checks come, baby, hey, it's more than a notion. But it's also it's a whole different sort of technique of life, in that you got to get that thing up 8 times a week, and it's got to be fabulous all the time.
8 times, all 8 times.
All 8 times. Wednesday afternoon at 2 and Saturday night at 8 have to be the same.
Yeah.
Like it's not
a game or a joke, for sure.
Not at all. Not at all. So the fact that oh my God, look who's here.
Marvin!
Marvin.
The voice.
The voice. And listen, I have had, since she's been on the show, she and I have had wonderful continuous conversation and bonding, and I just adore this woman, and am so happy that we're in each other's lives now. But that is one of the most beautiful voices that God ever saw fit to create, and one of the most beautiful human beings too. I just adore that woman. Thank you for being here, Marvis. I love you. I love you. Oh, hey, Paula, how are you? Yes, you're right, Dr. Jackson. You're right.
Everything is rooted in Black. Everything. Like,
absolutely. Can we go back to the music of the real music of America, the spiritual, please, and how everything was born out of that?
Everything. Poetry, all of it.
Literally everything.
I love it. So, ladies, one more Porgy and Bess question, and then I want to talk to you about other stuff in your life. So, tell me about one of your favorite highlights of being in the show, one of your favorite memories, something that you looked forward to maybe every night, a certain part of the show, whatever you want to share. Let's start with you, Jasmine.
I'm gonna steal. I think what everybody wants to say is Denise bringing her confections.
Yes, every night.
That's
Like, mind you, we all know there's staging, there's blocking, but if Denise brings out a fresh batch of cookies or brownies or lemon, what blocking? What staging? There is a mad dash of 30 people stage right to cower and hover over a table and grab a cookie if you can. So
if you can get it.
If you can. Every night it was just like can I get a piece of yours? Because you don't know, it's new stuff every night.
Yeah.
Hilarious. It was ridiculous. So I did my due diligence and I stood stage left. I said, I'm going to stay where I'm supposed to be. Okay.
I love that. Go over there. You know, Porgy and Bess, everywhere that I've done it, and it's crazy to think that I've done Porgy 103 times. And everywhere that I have done it, it turns into a family. Like some of my best friends in life, not just in music, but in life, came from doing that incredible opera. Like, for real. It's just amazing. What about you, Tisha? Do you have another?
Oh my gosh, there are so many, but one that will forever just seared in my brain. This was even before we got on stage. The very first day that we were all together in the room, in the sea-level basement, and Camille Brown had us dancing and I mean worshiping. Like, it was an experience. Like, and that was the moment I was like, whoa, like, this is bigger than all of us, right? This experience, this moment in time with this group of people at this specific time was like, that was for me, like, kind of the pinnacle. Like, this is why we're here, to do, to bring this spirit to the people, and like as we were saying before we all got on here, it's like people left the theater changed because of what we brought and what we created, and that sense of community that's a part of the show, of course, but just as Black people we bring to everything that we do truly is powerful and transformative. So yeah.
Amazing. What about you, Makita?
Christine knows what it is, and I'm glad I get to say it before she gets to talk. So, if you don't know, myself, Christine, Latoya, and Markel are all from Oakwood. And at the end of the show, right before Good Morning, Greta, I'm with Markel. We get to come in together. Christine and Latoya are together. We're the first to enter from stage left and stage right at the back. Upstage, and we come through the gate. Latoya and Christine always try to beat Markel and I in the downstage. So every single night, even when Latoya was, how many months pregnant was Latoya? Like 5 or 6 months. We would run and we would try to beat me and Markel would try to beat Christine and Latoya downstage every single night. And I thought that was really special, just knowing that we all came from the same place, from the Oakwood family. So we'll see what happens next time.
I love it. What about you, Christine?
Yes, beating Markel and Makita out there every night was very fun for me and Dr. Lane, even when she was pregnant. Yes, so I just wanted to reiterate that we always won. But anyway,
and pregnant with twins, not just
right, with two babies.
Yeah. She was slowing down, so I had to make sure I got out there.
We love you, Toya.
So anyway, one of my favorite moments was actually in that prayer scene when the chorus was singing the and we're all gathering, and then me and Ticia would grab hold of each other right before we sang our solos, and my heart would be like, oh, Dr. Jesus, give it to me one more time. So that was a beautiful moment. And Ticia, for me, being able to connect with you each night before we started singing, just with that touch, it just helped to
touch and agree. Okay.
Yes, we touched and we agreed, and then we did our thing. So that was beautiful for me every night.
Amazing. What about you, Rebecca?
Oh, child. Okay, wait. First of all, of course, Jasmine mentioned Denise's sweets, but I have to add on to that. The funniest part of it was the first or maybe second time she brought sweets. It was in the second half of the run. She brought scones one night, and I shoved a full scone in my mouth, like in that scene. But the next line was, "Welcome home, Porgy," and I still had half the scone in my mouth. But I turned and I looked at Maestro. I looked down. I was like, "What?" And like the scone came flying out of my mouth.
Oh my gosh!
Pre-COVID,
because I completely ignored my down left blocking, went up center to get that scone, and could not make it back down in enough time before the line. So here I am, completely in the center, like, "What?" I'm gonna see my way out. I'm just gonna prepare myself. Thank you. I'm fired. But that always will be hilarious to me. Our prayers before every show. Always look forward to those. Always look forward to us watching the show in the dressing room, like in the ladies' lounge,
screaming,
screaming, supporting one another. I think, Kenny, what you were saying about just how every Porgy turns into a family, it's another layer to that is a supportive family, because some families are toxic, but it was a supportive family. I mean, we would be screaming for Leah every time she came out to do Strawberry Woman. Andi, every time she came out to do Strawberry Woman, you know,
Crown,
yes,
you know, screaming for Angel, and
we held that note right before that. We used to count backstage.
Yes.
That note, yeah.
Just like you wouldn't find a more supportive cast. But if I had to say like my top memories, aside from our baby shower we threw for Latoya, our opening night party, what a lot of people outside of our cast don't know is that we weren't going to get a celebration. It was just going to be the gala. And so myself and John Burton of Access Opera planned our opening night party, and the Met ended up sponsoring it for us. So we were
Oh,
able to
wow.
have the
Shout out to
entire
Rebecca.
top at the Empire, like, for
Like a
everyone.
family reunion.
Yeah, like not only for everyone to be excited about opening night, like we got our gowns, beautiful gowns out.
Gowns.
Step and repeat. We had our family and friends there. Like it was just such a beautiful moment, and to be able to share it with friends because all of us are friends.
Yeah.
Our way we're all connected. It was beautiful.
Like it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't.
Mm-mm.
When you're
Yeah.
doing what you love with people that you love, it's really a blessing. Really,
Yeah.
really a blessing. That is so amazing. So are all of you going to come back and do it again?
We'll see.
Yeah.
Or I
I have
should
no
say,
idea.
if they ask you, are you going to go back and do it again?
That's a great
Would love to.
Would love to.
Good
Fantastic.
question.
That's a great question.
That's a good question.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's COVID depending, yes, but
Yes.
also availability
That's a
because,
lot.
like you said, we're all soloists in an ensemble.
Exactly. And so that's what I want to talk about now. What are you doing with your lives? Like, what were, some of your first jobs after the production was over or while you were doing that production? What were some of the things, like the name that I always butcher, Jasmine, the Kanye piece?
Oh, Nebuchadnezzar.
I always butcher it.
That was
Always.
hilarious. I was like, oh, he's just not going to say it. Okay.
No. I will not be like the man on the Grammys trying to pronounce all of our names and mispronouncing everybody's name.
Like they couldn't get somebody
Zero
to,
preparation.
Denise B. Nice. It was
Uh,
something
Freddie
very.
Valentine. Amy
like what?
I was like, sir, are you drunk? Like,
Give
did
me
you not-
your check. I'll do it.
right? I could have done that.
Right.
Don't let that happen again, Grammy.
Right. Get Kenny next time, okay? The way that he
Read.
I can pronounce Shostakovich. You cannot, sir.
Ooh.
But yeah. So I want to talk about your solo lives. Like Rebecca, you're acting, you're modeling, you're singing. When did all of that start to flourish for you here in the city?
Yeah, honestly, in 2016, I was like fresh out of school, no young artist programs, like no contracts, nothing. And so I ended up getting a job at a record label, which was totally great to learn that side of the industry. And while I was there, because I was very upfront about being an artist myself, they always supported me whenever I had gigs and auditions and things like that. So it's the shrugs for me. I'm bad. So I was able to leave and do things. And the first gig that I booked straight out of school was Cabin in the Sky at City. And so I'm in a show with LaShawn's and Norm Lewis and Michael Potts and Chuck Cooper and just like all these Black Broadway legends.
Yeah.
And one day at lunch, Norm Lewis was like, we don't know you. Like, who are you? And I was like, and he was like, no, like, are you from TV film? Like, you're not on the Broadway circuit. And I was like, oh no, I sing opera. And he was like, and what else? And that was the first time anyone had ever like said, okay, you can't just do one thing.
Right.
He was, I sing, I'm shooting Scandal next week, like so-and-so over here just bought a house with an Amex voiceover, so-and-so over here, like they're not at lunch because they're going to do an audition right now. So like, what else are you doing? And at that point, it had been so like drilled and instilled in me that you sing opera, you have 5 arias, that's it.
Boring.
Yeah. And so it was after doing that show that I did a showcase for some agents and I sang for them. I did a couple of sides, script, like straight copy sides. And I think maybe some monologues or something to that effect. And I got my first commercial agents and my legit TV, film, and theater agents. And it helped having the City Center credit that I was now equity. So right after that, it was like I signed and just all these auditions started popping in and I started booking a lot of commercials. And so there was like 1 year where I didn't even do a singing gig. Like I was just shooting stuff.
Wow.
And it kind of balances itself out. Like in the Porgy break, I was able to do Evita on my I had a matinee one day, but I was able to do a commercial shoot at 6 a.m. that morning and make it to the theater in enough time. So like, I just juggle it all now. And since the pandemic, I've done way more shooting and way more like virtual singing.
Yeah.
But right after Porgy, my first singing gig was doing the Yum Yum on the NIGASP tour. So that was fun.
I love it. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
And proud that you're stretching and spreading your wings. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Dr. Jobson, will you please tell us about your Florence Price project and what is it about her music, her story in particular, that made you want to delve in and dedicate so much of your education to her and now your post-education performance life?
In school, I was told that I should consider making my research a topic that I would love deeply because I would have to spend so much time with it. And so I decided that I wanted to write about someone who had a similar background to me. I wanted to write about a Black woman. And so as I did some research, I looked into Florence Price, discovered that there was an entire body of songs that had not yet been studied, performed, or anything. So I decided to make that my focus and produce an album of her songs. And I do lecture recitals with her as well, amongst other things. But yes, Florence Price has been opening up some doors lately.
And we can hopefully find your recording on your website. Is
Yes.
that possible? All right, everybody. The website is right there. Go look it up and go support Christine and get that CD. Florence Price is the bomb. She's always been the
Yes,
bomb.
she is.
Just
Right.
everybody else is just catching up.
No, it's true. I
It's
just
very
have
true.
piggyback off of Christine, like the recital that I just did for Austin Opera. Like that's why I chose to program all Black women composers, because their music does not get done enough. And I'm just like, I've sung it, a bit in these last few weeks and everything. And I'm like, there is just no reason why this is not in the canon next to Die Weihnacht, next to all the, all these songs, these Schubert and Schumann and Brahms. And, it's, people are starting to get hip, I suppose. But we need to give them their clubhouse flowers and really acknowledge the talent, the body of
Absolutely.
work that these ladies have contributed to classical music. It's really important, for
It
real.
really is. So who were some of the other ladies that you featured on your
Florence Price, Undine Smith-Moore, Zenobia Powell-Perry, Margaret Bonds. Is that everybody? Yeah, I did like sets.
Yeah.
Margaret Bonds and Zenobia, especially that set. And she has, just there's piano works, there's vocal work, it's just like we have to get into performing these works and giving this music out to people and performing it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
It's, not that, I don't know, but you know what I mean? It's good. People think that just because you haven't heard of it, it's not good.
That is not good. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's so amazing to me the wealth and body of work that these women have, Black women in particular, that we barely even scratched the surface.
Yeah.
And so I would encourage everybody. Dr. Louise Toppin has created an incredible resource in a website entitled African Diaspora Music Project, all one word, African Diaspora Music Project.com or org. Try it out on your own time. But it has every Black composer and all of their works and where they're published, the keys that the songs are in, the ranges that the songs are in, orchestral works, chamber works, everything. It's an incredible resource. So I encourage you to go and investigate this music on your own time and program this stuff, because guess what? Florence and Margaret and Undine, they didn't write it so that it can sit on a library shelf. They wrote it so that people could sing it.
Yeah.
And audiences can hear it and absorb it and feel it. And
Yes.
we owe it to them to program their music right alongside Strauss and Mahler and Wagner and all of the rest of them.
Mhm.
So thank you, Ticia, and thank you, Christine, for doing that and bringing light to them. I'm actually recording some Florence Price in the morning. I'm so excited. Her music, her vocal music to me just has so much hope in it. It's
Yeah.
so much
Light.
light.
Yeah.
Yes. It makes me so happy to sing her stuff.
Mhm.
Makita, tell us, my dear, what are you up to? What are your days filled with? What's your life like post Porgy?
Child, writing a dissertation. That's what my days are filled with. Writing, a lot of writing and a lot of updating of CVs and a lot of cover letters. So actually, that is where I am now. I am ABD. Finally, I was post coursework during Porgy, and I just finished my comprehensive exams at the end of January, which was absolutely nuts. And now I am in finally the dissertation phase. So that's what I'm doing now. And during the summer, like late spring, early summer, I performed with Baltimore Concert Opera and Opera Delaware a couple of times during the summer. So, and now it's just typing away. You know that little cat meme that's just like clap, clap, clap.
Yeah.
That's me literally all day. So this has been wonderful to see.
I love it. Congratulations. We will be praying for you and pushing you on and all of that. I
And
don't know
teaching.
what,
I forget. I'm teaching at Kentucky State. It's so many things. It's so much.
wow.
My room is full. I'm teaching adjunct at Kentucky State University. So
With,
shout out to Dr. Lori Hicks.
Dr. Lori Hicks, who is also a fantastic composer herself.
Yes.
And I just recorded one of her pieces for my project as well. I was very deliberate. And I'm so glad that On-Site Opera not only brought me on as an artist, but as a producer as well on the project. And so I was a part of what was going to be sung. And so it was very important to me. And so I did record one of Laurie's pieces and Margaret Bond's pieces and Florence Price tomorrow. I'm so incredibly excited and proud to sing the music of us.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And my dissertation is on the song cycle African Romances by Samuel Coleridge Taylor. And not many people know that he's written over 130 vocal art songs. And so many of them are just not available. Some of them are. If you know the Dorothy Maynard album, she sings a few of them. But, you know, sometimes people just don't remember his music, and you know I'm gonna do my best to uncover them, but you know they're archived out in London, so
yeah,
there's so much music.
Well, listen, Makita and Christine specifically, the African American Museum is looking for a curator of music.
Okay.
So get the application in, Gert. Get the application in. Come on now.
We love a scholar.
I'm just saying. And what about you, Jasmine? Tell us about this very colorful life and career that you're having, from opera to musical theater to and everything in pop music and working with rap stars. And I mean, give it to us.
You know, I just go where the check,
The money resides.
where we, but you have to have the talent. You have to have the talent and the flexibility
that
to
does
be able to
serve
do
us
that
as well. Yes. Yeah, that sort of fell in between the Porgy run. Is that how that happened? It was like during December, and then we came back right into Porgy. I don't even know where to start, but yes. Are we talking about that stuff or just with the pandemic?
Talk to me about the pandemic. What have you been doing during the pandemic?
Yeah, we've all been singing at home. We've all been our own sound, lights, grip.
And I'm over it.
We're all over it. The voice is meant to be heard live. So we've been doing that. I've been doing that. I'm currently in Pittsburgh. My first real, well, no, that's not true. I've done a lot of work with American Opera projects in the fall.
Yes.
We premiered a really, really cool piece entitled Your Sovereign Blackness. It was commissioned for sort of the Black woman's response to the 100th anniversary of the women's right to vote. And since we were obviously very much left out of that moment, this song was written to speak to that, and all the Black women who helped that process but weren't helped in return.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that happened sometime in the fall. We love a church job.
Yes. Listen, the church jobs, not only can I go in and get my word, depending on the church, but those checks sort of piece together
it's the glue. It's definitely the glue for, I think, many of us. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. But I am happy to be back in a live theater setting. Very curious how this is going to pan out, but I'm here in Pittsburgh. We're going to start rehearsal. I'm currently quarantining. I've been in a hotel for a week.
Wow.
This is week 2 of my 14-day quarantine, and we will begin rehearsals for Charlie Parker's Yardbird next week. I'll be Addie Parker.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so it'll be a pared down. I think the audience is a max of 50 people per show. There's 6 shows. One night will be live streamed, I believe, for free, so we can
yes, keep us posted. Yeah.
But yeah, it's we shall see, and we're all just, some of us are just waiting for the world to reopen so we can get back to intimate apparel. And
I had tickets for that.
Excellent.
2 weeks before the world went awry.
You will love it. I promise you will love it.
So
is it right?
Is it coming back for sure? Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Thank God.
Fantastic. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Ladies, I have had you on here for almost 2 hours, and it's been so much fun. And I have some fun questions before we go. So I'm going to go in the order of Makita, Christine, Rebecca, Jasmine, and then Ticia. And you can answer with the first thing that comes to your mind, but honesty is always the best. All right?
This sounds dangerous.
No,
I'm nervous.
So, what kind of a girl are you? Breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner, or dessert?
Oh. Give me a heavy lunch.
Okay. And what's on your plate?
Don't like to be hungry. Pasta, carbs, and some vegetables or tacos.
Gotcha. Okay.
Frankly.
Come on, heavy lunch.
I'm tiny. Look at my wrists. I need food.
Christine.
I'm gonna go with dinner.
Okay. What's on your plate?
Rice and peas, and something curry or jerk, and
Yes.
maybe some macaroni and cheese and collard greens. Just kind of bridge that together, and cornbread.
Oh, come on. That's a full plate. Live, honey. Live. Rebecca.
Why does it sound like we just eat dinner any time of the day?
We need that sustenance.
But Shambi's in the chat talking about greens, and all I heard was grits.
Right.
So I'm gonna say brunch because you can have it both ways at a brunch, okay? Preferably bottomless mimosa brunch, okay? On my plate, I have taken myself to Melba's, so I'm getting the all white meat fried chicken with the waffle. Sometimes she does a sweet potato waffle with the strawberry butter and syrup and hot sauce on the side.
Come on, Melba.
A scrambled egg with that if I'm feeling breakfasty, or if I'm feeling dinnery, I'm gonna get a side of greens and mac and cheese. Thank you.
Come on, Melba.
Yes.
Oh, now I'm hungry. What about you, Jasmine?
Definitely a brunch situation. I'm gonna take myself to Ponty. The best French toast. And I don't even like French toast, but Cissé's French toast is so good. With, a side of bacon, eggs, or Jacob's pickles, just something, a hearty, all food groups represented. And by
Yes.
food groups, I mean meat and pancakes or something.
Yeah.
So.
Pancakes are their own food group. Yes, indeed. You know who got me? You know who got me onto Ponte was Janina.
Mhm.
Yes, Janina.
She turned me on the Ponte. She and Chauncey and I will go there. I have to have the muscles, the African style.
Ooh, yeah.
Baby. Yes, God. All right, Ticia, what about you?
I'm also doing brunch. Clearly, Rebecca, Jasmine, and I are all at brunch together. Either at Jacob's Pickles or Boulevard. I'm having
Boulevard.
fried chicken and biscuits, or fried chicken and pancakes, or like dinnery, but also breakfasty, a steak and eggs. If there's steak on the menu, I'm getting
She's
it.
getting it. She's getting it.
Yeah. So.
Okay, next question. If I were to look at your musical listening device, what would be one of the first songs and artists that I would see on it? Nikita?
That's impossible.
This is funny. Okay, well, the last thing I actually listened to was the original movie cast recording of Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
I love that soundtrack. It's so good. The orchestration. It's so good. I love Disney. I love Disney movies. And I just listened to the whole cast recording of Mary Poppins.
Wow. Okay. I love it. Christine?
If you were to check right now, it would oscillate between Fred Hammond and some Afro-Caribbean music. I love some Afro-Caribbean music, extremely loud and just get things done.
Yeah.
So that's my vibe.
I love it. Rebecca?
Ooh, I just had to check because it could get embarrassing. At the top right now is Erykah Badu.
Yes.
Followed by Bruno Mars. But the embarrassing part would have been if it was just an all Ariana Grande playlist, because I love to hate her and I hate that I love her so much.
Yeah. We all have an artist or two like that in our lives. Jasmine, who's on your list?
Currently in this order, we'll begin with Toby and Wigway, just serving us all through this entire pandemic.
Correct.
Followed by the Clark Sisters,
Mm-hmm.
Black Pumas, Lettucey, James
Oh,
Blake. You know,
she's one of my favorites too. That voice,
and she just won her first Grammy yesterday. Her first.
I'm so happy for her. She's so so
voice has been
deserving
here for years.
Oh, and can do she can throw it at the wall and it will
Anything.
come right back to her.
Anything, yeah.
And Ticia?
So today I actually listened to our cast recording of Porgy and Bess at the Metropolitan Opera.
I'm gonna buy it.
Yes, I bought it. It's fierce. It's really great. But we also have this is Cardi B. Okay.
Yes.
Avery Sunshine. Yes, Avery Sunshine. Toby, Nwigwe, Beyonce, and Emily King.
I love it.
Yes.
So yes.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Wait,
Okay.
I didn't know we were doing like whole playlists.
Can
I add mine?
We have to explain ourselves.
Disney.
Okay.
I have Esperanza Spalding, who is my favorite, and Diana Krall. She keeps me sane in the morning.
Love it. Love it. Okay, next question. Where in the world would you go right now if it was safe and free of corona?
Can we just answer? Thailand tomorrow.
Thailand. Oh, wow. Thailand. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a Thai food fan too. I think Thailand, that's a good spot.
Go ahead, Christine.
I'm definitely going to Ghana.
Yes.
Oh.
Like as soon as possible, TCI will be calling you. Yes.
I'm also trying to go, but I'm gonna say Zanzibar.
I was gonna say Zanzibar.
Makita, let's go.
Please. Let me collect some coins.
Go.
I need
Come
sun,
on.
water.
Thailand, Ghana, and Thailand, Ghana, and 2 for Zanzibar. What about you, Rebecca?
So you said if COVID wasn't a thing, but if money wasn't a thing, because
That's
That's
true.
the thing.
I'll
That
do
is
anything.
the thing.
I've traveled in the pandemic safely. I'm not gonna lie. But if money wasn't a thing, I would get a boat and sail the Mediterranean from like Spain to the south of France to like the Amalfi Coast over to the Greek Isles, swing past Egypt and Morocco, and just live my best Jay-Z and Beyonce life.
Why don't you put a package together and send it out and set up a payment plan for the kids? I'm going.
Right.
You're not
What is it,
so-
Afterpay? Let me get on Afterpay.
I'm gonna just drop a GoFundMe in there for any.
Right. So
Right.
I sponsor the cast of Porgy and Bess.
It's the
Now we gotta
Grammy
close in that
Celebration
close.
Tour. I love
That's
it.
the Grammy Celebration Tour.
Do it. I will do it. Listen. All right. So last question. I ask this of all of my guests.
Yes.
Latoya.
I
I can't stand Latoya.
I can't.
Last question. I know.
I'm here. I'm still here.
Okay. I know that heaven exists. But what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates? Makita?
Oh boy. You know, I've heard you ask this question before and I'm not ready. Okay, I would ask, why did we suffer so much?
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm already there, so I'm getting in.
Well,
So
you're already-
He said,
I'm here.
listen here, God.
Why did we suffer?
That's what she
so
said.
God, what's up? Can you
Wow.
Wow, sir.
Okay, Christine,
Could you repeat the question just one more time?
when you arrive at the heavenly gates, what do you want to hear God say?
Okay, so the first thing I'd like to hear him say is, "Welcome home, Christine, and your daddy's right over there."
Yeah.
Rebecca?
You know, I'm gonna go along the same lines. I mean, I would love to hear him say, "Well done." I can only hope that whatever I do here on earth pleases him up there. But like Christine, I need to be pointed into the nearest direction of my ancestors, starting with my grandmother. Thank you.
Yeah, I love that.
Mhm.
Jasmine?
Well done. That's always been what I'm waiting for. It's all we can ask for, really. Is just you did it.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
You did it.
We did it, Joe.
You did it, Joe.
Yeah.
Well done.
We did it, Joe.
And Ticia?
Yeah, I definitely well done, but you used everything I gave you.
Mm.
That's, yeah. You
Mm.
used everything I gave you.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Ladies, I adore you all. And I'm so glad that you took 2 hours out of your lives to spend with me and the audience here at Black Opera Live. I love all of your stories and hearing about you and learning things that I didn't know about each of you. Keep shining. Keep doing what you do and do it with excellence and do it without reservation and fear. Like, just go for it. Don't have any regrets. Don't leave anything left on the table. No meat on the bone. Go for it all. You know what I'm saying? So everybody, thank you for joining us for this amazing show with this panel of gorgeous women, gorgeous, talented, gifted, bright women, Black women doing the thing. Next week, I have a very special panel with another lady who has become a very dear friend in the last few months, Denise Graves. She's been on my show before with just a one-on-one, but she's coming back because I'm helping her with the Denise Graves Foundation to help restore and rebuild the National Negro Opera House in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which was started, founded, and funded by the legendary Mary Caldwell Dawson. And along with Denise and I will be the young Black woman who purchased the property.
Wow.
Yes.
Who purchased the property.
Come on.
And then two other gentlemen who run opera companies that were built and made for Black singers. So Wayne Sanders will be here from Opera Ebony, and Jason Obey will be here from Houston Ebony Opera. And we're going to talk all things opera, Black opera administration, how Black operas companies can survive and move forward, and how we can push forward and help sustain and rebuild the National Negro Opera House in Pittsburgh. So come back and join Denise and I with Wayne and Jason and Jonette. And we'll see you next week, same time, same place. Ladies, don't sign off. I'll talk to you later. Everybody else, thank you so much.
Good night, everyone. Thank
God
you.
bless you.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Bye.